Hello.
And welcome to another episode of
Manic Pixie Dream Women.
We're your hosts, Miraya
And Lela. Why is your name so funny?
I don't know what's happening. And this is the podcast where we talk about all things post-grad, entering into the industry, and some films that have inspired us along
There are
the
movies
way.
here.
Lots of movies.
Guys, it's been a week since we recorded, and
I
we're
know,
feeling it.
Really, I feel crazy right
Yeah,
now.
we have a really manic energy.
Ooh. This week we are talking about one of my favorite films.
One of
We're
your
bringing
favorites?
it back. Yes.
Okay.
I would say this to me is a perfect movie.
Perfect?
Perfect.
Okay.
And we will discuss. We're talking about Adaptation, baby.
We are.
Directed by Spike Jonze, written by Charlie Kaufman, starring Nicolas Cage ×2.
Mm-hmm.
And Meryl Streep, lest we forget.
And Meryl Streep. And Tilda Swinton's there.
Tilda Swinton. Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper.
I don't really know what else he's in.
I recognized him.
I
was like,
recognize him
I know
too.
this man.
He won an Oscar.
Yeah.
There you go. Fun fact for you Pixie sticks. The Oscars nominated a fake person as a result of this movie.
Oh, because of Donald?
Yeah. Because of Donald.
I don't know what's up with my voice cracks. Like last week, I was sounding like I was crying. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, it's so hard. I'm like,
Because of Donald.
yeah, okay. So should we, for those of you who haven't seen it, because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this, at least
And
our
I feel
age.
like, so can I just, yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to take the baton from you. I'm going to steal it
Take
from
the
you for
baton.
a second. I watched this movie in a screenwriting class my senior year of college. I loved my professor so much. He was the best. And he made us watch the first 20 minutes of Adaptation, and then I watched the rest on my own. I really believe that every screenwriter should watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like as a screenwriter, I find a lot of catharsis in this movie.
That's fair.
It's very relatable. I really love this movie. And now we can talk about what it's about, because it's a wild ride.
Yeah.
I'm handing the baton. Oh, I'm shaking the whole set. I'm handing the baton back to you, Lela.
Okay. Make sure that's in the mic. I'm warming my little hands up like a little cockroach.
Oh. I just got the ick.
Anyway. So this follows a fictionalized version of actual screenwriter Charlie Kaufman, who wrote this script, and he was trying to adapt this book, The Orchid Thief, and that's a real book. And so this movie is about him trying to adapt it and being like, oh God, I'm terrible. I'm so bad at this. Struggling with writer's block and how to adapt it. Meanwhile, it's there's actually bits of the story, there's bits of the adaptation in the movie. Meryl Streep, who plays the author of The Orchid Thief, and there's a fictionalized romance between her and this orchid hunter, and then it goes kind of off the rails.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the story behind this movie is literally the story in the movie.
In the movie, yeah. He was hired to adapt this, and he was like, I have no clue how to adapt this. So he wrote himself into the screenplay, of him trying to adapt it.
Yeah, and it's incredible.
And he gave himself a fictionalized, alter ego twin brother named Donald Kaufman.
Yes.
Also played by Nicolas Cage.
Yes, and they are foils of each other.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Kaufman in the movie, his whole goal is basically, so The Orchid Thief, which is a real book, was based off an article, I believe, of the same name from The New Yorker, the magazine The New Yorker. And it's about this one guy who would try to illegally harvest orchids in Florida.
It sounded so much like you were going to say organs.
Orchids. to sell and reproduce. I honestly beats me.
Well, in the movie, they like are for a drug.
Yes, but that's not the actual book.
Yeah.
So this book basically, again, it's called The Orchid Thief. So Charlie Kaufman is struggling to create a plot that's not Hollywoodized, that's not over dramatized. He just wants to make a beautiful movie about flowers. Whereas his brother he decides he wants to be a screenwriter. He reads Story by Robert McKee, which I'm sure if you're trying to be a writer, someone has probably given this book to you as a gift.
Yeah.
You've heard about it. It's like one of those, it's a giant book that's supposed to be in
Maraya's house.
It is in my house. I was given it as a gift. All of the tenets of screenwriting. What is happening? All of the tenets of screenwriting are within this book. It's supposed to be like, you read this book, you know how to be a screenwriter. And Charlie Kaufman, everything Donald Kaufman is about, Charlie Kaufman is against.
Yeah, it's like he writes like a big, super crazy blockbuster action thing with like a big twist, and Charlie's like, this is so fucking dumb, but then it sells, and it's like, this will be huge. They love it. Also, he's dating young Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but not actual Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, but Catherine Keener is in it and plays herself.
Yeah, because the whole thing is it starts while Charlie, which is real to real life, Charlie Kaufman was given this book to write a screenplay of when Being John Malkovich was being filmed. Mm-hmm. And so he was struggling with writer's block. Wow. I like that I'm like really looking into the camera right now. He was struggling with writer's block during production. And so he like confided in Spike Jonze in real life. Anywho. But the movie actually starts during production of Being John Malkovich. And you like see behind the scenes and like John Malkovich and Catherine Keener and the other guy.
Who's the other guy?
Who has this famous sister as well. Freak. Not Joan Cusack. Or the other Cusack.
John Cusack?
Yes.
That was him?
Yeah.
I didn't even clock him.
So it's like them on set. So it's like, it's funny because when I saw Adaptation the first time, I had never seen Being John Malkovich. Have you seen it?
No.
It's very...
I know it's similar.
It's very similar. Like Charlie Kaufman clearly like has a style of like being weird and like just doing crazy things, but I didn't really enjoy Being John Malkovich as much because it was like a little too off the cuff for me, where I was like, now this is just uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not having a fun time. Whereas Adaptation, like there's a very short scene that I forced my boyfriend to watch because I was like, John, like this is so me. I don't know if you had this experience when like Nicolas Cage like sits down to write and he's like, and there's a lot of voiceover of
which
Charlie
is
Kaufman.
Notoriously a big no rule in screen. It's very lazy considered in screenwriting.
Yeah, he's like breaking all the rules, but he's like
he's breaking all the rules.
He's like, okay, time to write, and then he's like, I should get a coffee. Oh no, I should write and then reward myself with a coffee. Mm-hmm. Coffee and a muffin. Okay, so I have to come up with the themes. Banana nut. That's a good muffin. I'm like, oh, it's brilliant. And then he writes like 3 lines, and he's like, I deserve a break. And I'm like, that's so real.
Who do you think would play Nicolas Cage's... Who do you think would play the role in today's world?
Of Charlie Kaufman and Twin?
Yeah.
Still Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Always
my mind went to like
Cage.
Glenn Powell.
Ugh.
But like in a more like action hero douchey way.
Yeah.
I feel like he played Donald really well.
Yeah, he would play Donald really well. I love Nick Cage.
I do too.
Nick Cage is my favorite Nepo baby. Do you have a favorite Nepo baby?
Nick Cage has to be up there. I don't know. I haven't made a list.
Yeah.
Oh, Keira Knightley.
Okay.
I like her.
She's a Nepo baby.
Of course.
Who are her parents?
Her mom was like her parents were either playwrights or like a script supervisor or like something like that.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I love Nick Cage. He's so freaking weird.
He confuses me because like when I look at him, I'm like, I'm not attracted to this man. But now I've seen 2 movies, not this one, 2 movies where I walk away and I'm like, am I attracted to Nicolas Cage? Moonstruck.
Sorry.
Moonlight.
That'd be crazy.
If Nicolas Cage was in Moonlight.
Problematic.
Anyway. Moonstruck and City of Angels. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen City of Angels.
It's not like a good movie. It's Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
But he's such a yearner in that I'm like, okay, bro, stop.
I'm kind of attracted to him in an adaptation.
He's got something.
He's just such a lovable dude.
It's that Coppola chest hair, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he is famously a Coppola. He's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola, a.k.a. cousin of Sofia Coppola.
Which...
It sounds like you're calling Sofia Coppola a witch. Witch.
No, okay. Which ties everything together about this movie.
Yeah, the Francis Ford Coppola universe.
Yes, but crazily.
Yeah.
So, apparently, I'm going to go into a little story. It's story time right now.
Okay.
Charlie Kaufman, he went to NYU to study film. After he graduated, he moved, I think he's from Minneapolis. He moved back there, or he just moved to Minneapolis, which I don't really know why he would just move to Minneapolis if you're not from there, but...
Seems like a gorgeous town.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sponsor us, town of Minneapolis.
But he was doing different customer service jobs, trying to support him and his wife. Ooh. And...
Marriage.
And he was writing a bunch of different like spec scripts and sending them all over the place. And then like years of failure. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he was happy. He finally, one of his spec scripts landed him a talent agent. So then he moved to LA and then he became a comedy TV writer. Mm-hmm. But he like wrote a bunch of different movies, sent them all over the place. They all declined. What's the word I'm looking for? Got rejected. Passed. Yeah. And then he wrote Being John Malkovich. And this is where things
Did he know
get
John
muddy.
Malkovich, or was he fully like, hope John Malkovich does this?
No, I think it was a different actor originally. I'm actually going to look this up. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I feel like I saw somewhere that it wasn't originally John Malkovich, but maybe I'm wrong. Anywho.
Okay.
Regardless, this is where things get muddy. Some sources say that he was like sending Being John Malkovich to all these studios and it somehow got in the hands of Francis Ford Coppola. Some sources say that somehow he sent the script himself to Francis Ford Coppola.
I love that it's not Francis Coppola.
No.
It's Francis Ford.
It's Francis Ford. And so, I don't know. Somehow it got into his hands.
Yeah.
He read the script and then decided to give it to his daughters. Again, sources are muddy. Was Spike Jonze the boyfriend or the fiance at that time? I guess we'll never know.
Does it matter if they were engaged or not?
I don't know, but I just hate that every source I look at says a different thing. I'm like, give it to me straight.
Wikipedia said boyfriend.
Because I feel like, no, but Wikipedia on this page said boyfriend. Mm-hmm. On a different page, it said fiance.
Oh my God.
And then I looked it up at a different website. Anywho, I feel like there is a distinction.
Release the proposal date.
I'm just like, here's the deal. Because I feel like there is a difference between like, oh, just my like my daughter's boyfriend.
But if they were serious, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it like he knew he was a filmmaker.
That's true.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that crazy?
The way that family runs Hollywood, because Jason Schwartzman is also a cousin.
Jason.
Shut up. Is also a cousin of the Coppolas.
Yes. And obviously Nick Cage is a Coppola.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There you go. I don't know. So yeah, it's Coppola.
It's kind of like our Kennedy family.
It is. But I just think that's crazy. I mean, I would love to know the real story because I'm like, because then that was obviously his like breakout project as a screenwriter. He was nominated for an Oscar for it. Like, how did it get in the hands?
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh my God, this is what pisses me off about so many things when I'm like doing research about like, okay, how do people make it? How do, like, tracking other people's journeys, or like even when somebody nowadays will, they'll be like, oh, like they'll simplify it. So then but I'm like, no. It's very important that you include the precise details of how you did this.
Yeah.
Did you send a cold email? Did you mail it to his address? Did you get his address somehow? If he had a talent agent, did his talent agent send it to Francis Ford's talent agent? You know, like, that's the important stuff. I don't, like, it doesn't matter to me that it ended up in his hands. How?
Yeah.
We need to know how.
I also thought, here's some good stats for you. It took Charlie Kaufman 3 years to write Adaptation. He wrote 3 drafts, and then once it was in production, did some minor edits. I just thought that was interesting to think about. Your face is so blank.
I guess just because, like, that's normal to me. Usually it's very normal to have, like, multiple drafts.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I just think the, like, actual stats of 3 years, 3 drafts, I'm like, that's interesting to me.
Oh, like 333, like angel number. Like, where is this going?
No, I'm just like, I think it's interesting to think about a feature-length project and just that was in production. Like, how many edits did they do? How many years did it take them?
Not to, like, I feel like you're studying my face too much now, so I'm like thinking
just,
about it.
I was like, oh, just interesting to me.
I'm listening.
I'm very self-conscious about this movie. It's been 20 minutes and we haven't actually talked
I know.
about your
I think
thoughts
that's on
of the
purpose.
movie.
I think you don't want me to talk about my thoughts.
Okay. Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
And then I'll let you take it away.
Thank you.
So, I really love this movie because I feel very in line with Charlie Kaufman as a writer. I feel really suffocated by rules and by structure sometimes. And I feel like I really loved when this movie was introduced to me. It was at a time where I was like, obviously in school, like learning all of these rules. And so it was just very like freeing to me to see that, like, here's a piece that was nominated for a bunch of Oscars that's breaking a bunch of rules. And I feel like the whole message of this movie is like how dumb
the rules are,
and how dumb typical Hollywood blockbusters are. And that's what I was saying last episode. I said there are parts of this movie that I don't like because I really hate the ending of this movie, because I was so attached to the beginning of this movie because it's very like him exploring what it means to be a writer. And then with the Orchid Thief, it just feels like very natural and just like these people searching for meaning and what it means to be passionate about something. And then he turns it into a blockbuster movie. And I just think, like, I was so excited to see where the beginning of the movie went that I was like, ugh, darn, I hate this. But that's the point. The point is that it's not supposed to be good.
But where do you think it could have gone?
I guess that's the point he's also making.
Yeah.
Is
you can't make a movie about flowers, I guess is the point he's making.
I don't know, but
I couldn't.
I don't think the beginning of the movie wasn't just about flowers. There was a way to, like, I think there are so many movies,
but I think though, like,
slower burns.
Well, because if he was trying to adapt it, he's like, there's not a fucking story here. Is the whole problem, and why he fixed it by putting himself into it, because he's like, there's nothing to do. That's what, making fun of like give him a romance, blah blah blah. But it's funny because I have the opposite opinion, where I like the ending. Because for me it then became, because this is an idea obviously that's like, especially for the time, like super like brand new, like wow, meta, ooh, he put himself into it. So I did, like, obviously, like, I related to the musings of the struggling writer, and, like, I definitely related to his jealousy he had with his brother.
Yeah.
As I've talked about, he was like, yeah, it's fine. You got an agent off that? Cool.
Yeah.
But I like that because it's such a fun idea that I liked when it started, like, almost like, nodding at itself and having fun of being like, okay, now they're making fun of it, as opposed to like making a point, I guess. Well, for me then I think it was well balanced in terms of like, okay, they made their point. It's like artsy in the front, and then they're like balls to the wall, like we're gonna have a crocodile's gonna kill that guy, and like we're gonna have a shootout, and Donald's gonna fly through the car windshield and die.
Yeah.
Like I liked that it got like fun in that sense of then also like cheekily nodding to it, like everything it was saying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I think this is a perfect movie in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just saying, I obviously, like, I'm with Charlie Kaufman there. I would have loved to just see it go through and resolve on its own. But I think it's so brilliant what he does. And I really love that.
Yeah. Well, also, I did, like, the pacing was a bit slow for me. The front, because it's a 2-hour long movie, which I guess, like, whatever is long. But I fell asleep halfway through.
When did you fall asleep?
Well, hard to say what was going on. I was falling asleep.
Damn.
It was like that time period when it was like kind of flashing. It was that chunk it was in the middle somewhere. Because like not a lot happens until he like follows her to Miami.
But that's what I love. And I just love, like, I feel, this movie. I just love watching Nicolas Cage be Nicolas Cage. I love Meryl Streep so much.
I do love Meryl Streep.
I could literally, like, listen to her just speak about nothing forever. Yeah. Like, I just really, like, find it so beautiful. I feel like every line in this movie is just so beautifully written. And I just love, like, I just love the way the dialogue is spoken. Like, I just, like, have such a... It's one of those movies where I just feel like I literally don't have to worry about anything. I'm just watching a great thing be great. And I'm like, this is screenwriting. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the same taste, Lela?
Well, you like slice of life stuff.
I really do.
And I don't think. I mean, I don't like dislike. Like, I like the Florida Project.
I love the Florida Project.
Yeah.
Have you watched it yet, though?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh. I thought you said you only read it.
I must have watched it in class.
Oh.
I know I read it, but I must have watched it because I do remember watching it as well.
Oh.
But the Florida Project has exactly what they're talking about. It's got conflict and like tension and blah, blah, blah.
There is conflict. There is tension. It's very internal. But
I wouldn't say there's
what's so
tension.
Interesting to me. I think there's tension within, especially Meryl Streep's. There's tension between the twins.
I don't know. I wasn't invested in like Charlie. I was just like,
you didn't see yourself in him at all.
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, not at all. Like I said, like I related to like the writer struggles, but like,
damn, that's
really.
So interesting.
Okay, I had this one thing. I don't know if I feel this way, but I wrote it before the end. Well, I was like he did write an adaptation.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have to put himself into it.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a lot shorter.
Yeah.
It would have been like an hour. But also, like, he didn't actually.
Yeah.
Because the only parts that were, like, actually
because he fictionalized it
was not really real. It was, like, 10 minutes of her being, like, the orchids and this guy does this thing. But, like, none of, like, Meryl Streep and Chris Cooper's relationship was real.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And then they all combined at the end. So there was no real resolution. As far as
what do you mean they all
adaptation
combine
went.
in the end?
Like Charlie Kaufman enters into their world.
Yes.
So that is interesting.
Yeah.
Is that your one note?
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
I'm sorry. I don't. Well, because I don't dislike Charlie Kaufman. Like, I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind so much. I guess I was just like, I don't know. Because I don't think it is, but, like, maybe it would have been different if I was watching it in 1999. Because I feel like maybe this is something, like, I don't know, being meta, is so kind of done now, right?
I feel like he does it really well.
there was just something, maybe it was even, I don't know if I liked Nicolas Cage's performance.
What?
I don't know. Like, I know he's doing it well, but like, I just did not care about him.
I cared about him so deeply.
Why?
Because I really feel like I saw myself in him, of like someone who's like so deeply insecure and like trying so hard to be an artist and like struggling so hard with it, and struggling like in a world that really rewards people who are like not the most creative.
Yeah.
Who are like in a world, in an industry that's very money driven and not driven in a way of like, he just wants to make a movie about flowers and about nature. And like, I just felt like I saw myself so deeply within him and in his struggle. And I feel like he's just so, I love his delivery of like every line. It's just, he's such a good character actor in both of the twins. I just find so much entertainment out of it.
Maybe like, I definitely will like entertain rewatching it someday down the line, and like preferably not at night on my laptop.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't click. But it didn't click. And then I was like doing that thing where I'm like looking at Letterboxd reviews like, please, somebody agree with me. And then it's like, you know, you find like this one little community that's like, guys, I also like, I don't like this. I don't like, nobody else agrees with me.
So what other movies about screenwriters are there?
I don't know why that instantly makes it a good movie though.
I just think it would make it something that I would assume you would connect with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's about the screenwriter's struggle.
I was going to say I'm not insecure.
Damn. I know. I'm going to let you sit with that.
Yeah. Well, he was annoying me. He was actually annoying me. Oh, sorry. He was like, I wanted to shake him. Like, you know, just go for it, Charlie. You know, like ask the girl out, or, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, then he does with the pie. With the pie girl, he asks her out and she instantly is like,
oh my God.
Creepy man. And I was like, okay, that I related to that. I related to Judy Greer in that moment, though.
But it's just so, like, so real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so, like,
I do feel like, I definitely think there's authenticity to it. Yeah, like,
and just the way he writes the dialogue, it's so like so natural and so good. Like, even that scene where there's like one thing that he does where it's like Judy Greer, it's like just based off her facial expression, he like is like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
well, instantly, like, her smile falls.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
Yeah. Where I feel like any other screenwriter would be like, so, you want to come to this orchid show? And she's like, and
yeah.
he's like, but instead it's just like, there's so much, I could like eat this movie for lunch. Like, every line, every word, I'm like, that's good screenwriting, baby. Do you have any movies that are like that?
I don't think
for
it's
you?
bad, like, screenwriting or anything. Like, I don't think it's, like, badly done by any means. There definitely are some movies for me. I can never think of them when I'm prompted, though. Eat them for lunch? I want to say, like, Jurassic Park 3. But, like, in a bad way. That's like a, you know, fast food meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, I shouldn't be eating you. You're going to hurt my tummy later.
I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
You were not excited about this movie in the first place.
I had wanted to watch it years ago, though.
But when I suggested it, you did not want to watch it. So I wonder how much of this is mental.
That's fair. We don't know. How much of it is confirmation bias.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'll rewatch it.
Sure.
But I do love Meryl Streep. I do love Chris Cooper. I love anything Florida. I mean, I was like more interested in the actual story, like, not even the fictionalized part, but like, I sort of just wish he'd written the fucking movie about flowers.
Damn.
You know?
So interesting. Meryl Streep, she took a pay cut because the budget was so low.
I saw
She
that.
loved the script so much.
Animosity radiating towards me. Meryl Streep liked it, so why don't you?
Tell that to Meryl Streep, Lela.
I sure will. If I want her to be like, I wasn't the biggest fan of adaptation.
It's so funny because I feel like Meryl Streep, it's just interesting because obviously we grew up thinking of Meryl Streep as Meryl Streep.
Yes.
And like knowing her for her acclaim and her reputation. But we also grew up with like Into the Woods. You know what I mean? Meryl Streep in Into the Woods.
She does well in Into the Woods.
But I feel like in our lifetime,
No, less acclaim.
she's chosen crazy things that I'm sure have made her a lot of money. But it's not like, oh. So I feel like I always kind of like smirked whenever people were like, Meryl Streep. I'm like, ugh, Meryl Streep. And I still feel like that to a certain extent where I feel like there are so many people at Meryl Streep's level. And I do wonder how much race has to do with it.
Yeah.
Where, like, white blonde lady is good at a thing and everyone's like, oh my God.
I wonder if that's also more just like, not nostalgia, but it's like she's been around so long where it's like they love romanticizing, you know, those eras. Like if it's old, it's iconic. You know what I mean? And also I think that for the roles she's chosen, she has said like as soon as she turned 40, it was like every role she was offered was a witch or like a grandma. So I think truly less roles were available.
That's crazy.
Have you seen It's Complicated? I like her in It's Complicated.
I didn't like It's Complicated.
That's fair. I like her in it.
I hadn't seen it since it came out. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, but I don't know.
My mom loved that movie. Like my parents liked that movie.
I'm sure it's lovely for
I think it's
our parents.
it's definitely like for our parents' gen.
Yeah. But anywho, to finish my thought.
Yes.
But in the past year or so, adaptation, I feel like she's so good in it. She's just so natural. I'm just like, ugh, you're incredible. Like even the dinner party scene, you might have been asleep.
What was the dinner party scene?
They're like talking about it's
yes.
like when she kind of realizes she's like, I'm so unhappy in the life.
Yes.
And just the way, she's just so good. And then I recently watched Kramer versus Kramer for the first time.
I haven't seen it.
And she's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. I see what these people are talking about. But that's my story. Just my little tidbit.
Yeah, like you watch older stuff and you're just like, okay, I get why people hype her up so much.
Yeah. But I still do think, like, I think there was a big debate just about, like, Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Versus Meryl Streep, where it's like...
I also wonder how much it plays a part that she dated that guy from The Godfather before he died. He died, like,
Coppola,
pretty young.
Link.
The guy... What are you saying?
Coppola Link.
Oh, yeah. True. He also was in Dog Day Afternoon. He's that guy. His name's John something. He plays, like, Fredo in The Godfather. And they dated. So I don't know, maybe it was like...
Was he the one who died?
Does Fredo die?
No, I mean, like, the actual actor. Because Meryl
died.
Streep was in, like, a long-term relationship with someone, and then he died unexpectedly.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she, like... I'm pretty sure it's, like, some crazy love story. Then she, like, soon after met her, like, now husband. But
well,
now they're divorced.
Yeah.
And now she might be dating
Martin Short.
Good for her. Get that.
Shorty. That short.
That's short.
Yeah. Preminger.
Anywho.
That's so Preminger coded.
Huh?
From Barbie. Because he voices that Barbie villain.
Oh, yeah. Anywho. So, well, this was a flop.
Not a flop.
To carry into my flop era.
I think it's good when, like, I don't mind when we have different opinions.
I just wish you liked my things.
That's so fair.
Just wish you were as excited. And I feel like, too, like, no one has really seen this.
Mm.
And I feel like
So you wanted
I
to
was
relate.
just really excited to be like, oh my God, like we're screenwriters. This is so crazy. Like, whoa. Anywho, let's move on. Are we doing our Manic and Pixie?
Well, Mariah's Manic is this episode.
My Manic, I feel like I'm flopping so hard.
You're not. How are you flopping?
I feel like I hate my jobs.
Fair.
I feel that's not fair. I feel like my jobs are requiring a lot more of me than I want to, and I just want to be doing the things that I love.
Dude.
And I'm just
I relate to that.
How long will
Maybe
this
if
happen?
Charlie Kaufman had a 9 to 5, I'd relate to him a little more.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Maybe next week I'll be like, oh, life is great.
Would you look for a new job? Are you interested in like finding a different part-time job, or like even working in the biz some way?
I don't know, just because I feel like having flexibility is really great, and there are very few jobs, especially in the industry, that allow flexibility. And I feel like the part-time jobs that I have are like, I don't know. I also just feel like I have no time to be looking for jobs. It's so consuming, all consuming. I don't know. So I feel very stuck.
Yeah.
But I guess I have a little Pixie, but I'll let you go for your
No,
Manic
tell me
first.
your Pixie.
Okay. My only Pixie is like I feel like I've been very Charlie Kaufman-esque of not really feeling any inspiration.
Yeah.
And then last week I had one of those nights where I was home alone. I had the whole apartment to myself. It was very exciting.
Steamy.
And then I listened to Blue by Billie Eilish on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was writing and having fun.
I love that.
First time I've been having fun while writing in a minute. So that was nice.
That is nice.
So dejected. So, Lela.
You sound afraid. Okay. My Manic is, I also feel stuck. Felt stuck for a while now.
But you're writing.
Yeah, but if it doesn't do anything,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I'm still
so
stuck.
fair.
It's like I just am stuck with, thank God. It's like I'm in quicksand and someone throws me scripts to pull me out. I'm like, no, I need a stick.
Yeah.
It's like these scripts aren't helping me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I characterize it as. And then Pixie. I did finish a script. A short. Not a
I think that's like a big accomplishment.
It was
also
so
20
easy that it like
pages.
doesn't feel. That sounds
It was so easy.
crazy. I just felt like it was one maybe because like movies you have to like really structure and plan it out, and this one I was just like, well, it's tiny, so I can't do too much, you know.
Yeah. But it's still an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Stop. And I read it and it was really good. So
Thanks. I think I do this every time you compliment me. I just shrink.
we're really doing well.
Guys, this is
The
what
energy
happens.
is crazy right now. I'm just gonna go sleep now. I feel like time to just like sit with my thoughts for a while.
That's fair.
Or maybe I'll write. Oh.
What are we watching next week?
Next week, we will be watching both Suspirias.
Ooh.
We're going back Luca Guadagnino.
We are. We're going to 1977 and then jumping to 2018.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've seen the first half of the remake.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
I really liked it.
Okay.
I just was really sleepy. It was with a group of people. I was really sleepy, so I went to bed.
Okay.
But I was planning on watching the rest, and then I never got around to it. but I'm very excited.
Yeah, based off our Black Christmas, I feel like we're going to be into the original.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
I'm like also excited to compare. We'll have lots to discuss.
We will.
Oh.
No feelings will be involved in this one.
We fist fight. I kind of want people to be like, there's a feud brewing. Like, add
should we
some
start a rumor of
drama.
our own feud?
Yeah. Like, we start being very passive aggressive with each other.
Yes. I'll start like cutting you out on the social media.
Damn.
Just will be like a ghost.
That would be actually really good.
Hosted by and Lela.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just cut me out of everything. Our Instagram unfollows
Just a
me.
monologue.
Yeah. Damn.
No feud here.
I don't know if you can even see. What is this part? Why was your hand so limp? I was trying to move it over here like. Well, thank you so much for watching. I think next week we'll be in better spirits. Although I think we'll probably record next week's episode in like a couple days.
We'll still be feeling we'll still be in our flop eras, guys.
I don't
Nothing
know
much will have
how
changed.
crazy it'll be, but we'll see. Well, thanks so much for watching Pixie Sticks. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye!